Welcome back, everybody. I got a real treat for you today as we've finished up the Colonel Bradley PowerLine class speed equation. Now, one of the great things about being in this end of the business and the publishing end is that we get access to so much great material that literally nobody else has access to. People send us stuff all the time. A lot of times it's older material, but when we test it and when we adjust it, it becomes very viable. And it's just really a thrill, not only that we get to have this, able to publish this and share it with our customer base, but that we get to use it ourselves. And this one, the Colonel Bradley one, is really unique in that Colonel E.R. Bradley, who many of you have heard the name, and he's been written up in many books. But basically, they concentrate on his methodology, very quick, that he would bet on horses that did the final quarter in sprints in 24 seconds or less. And now he had his own private clocker. He did this in the days before there were even tote boards, and it made him a lot of money. It did come though to the point when racetracks actually started hiring clockers, that they the method of 24-second did not become as viable. While it still worked well, it wasn't nearly as profitable as previously. The thing about Colonel E.R. Bradley, though, and even though he wasn't a colonel, it was an honorary title, is he did so much other work. And what we found and again, when you go to the website, we got a little write-up. It's really interesting. You should read it, because it just tells you about a guy who basically, because his doctor told him to get some more fresh air, decided to open a racing stable. But he was already into the racing game, and this was a long time ago. But he managed to come up with several theories that are still very potent today, other than the one with the 24 or faster last fraction. He wrote a book, he published a book, not sure when it was written, but it was called You Can't Beat the Races. And darned if you can find this anywhere. We got it actually from a great-granddaughter. I believe it was great-granddaughter. I'm kind of thinking maybe it was grand-niece or something like that, who wanted to sell some of the things he had in his attic. And one among the items that she sent us, again, a lot of them were just keepsakes and racing programs from the 30s and stuff, but there is this book, You Can Beat the Races. I believe it was self-published. It said Hill House Press, but we can't find any record of that. But at any rate, there was some excellent material in here. He does touch on the 24-second, but he also says in there that it doesn't work as well today. But there are these other methodologies, just a few, we listed them here. One of them is called gains on the first turn in routes, and that can translate into gold. Weight does matter in dirt and turf routes. He's got a neat formula about how to judge weight in the longer races, and why lower weight almost always, especially in non-stakes races, is an advantage. The trainer jockey plus win place percentage theory in dirt sprints. And again, this is something that you can just glance at the past performances and look at this thing and come up with the major contenders most of the time. He's got this other one, which he was really seemed to be puzzled in his writing, that more people hadn't put these two things together. It's overall win place show, plus earnings measurements, plus a couple other things, which again is a great shortcut, even if you're just doing this longhand. And you can spot these horses almost immediately. And again, it'll get you the major contenders in most races. And he's also got a really neat speed theory, which is called speed advantage. When a horse has a certain advantage in speed over the other horses, that it makes all the difference as far as cashing tickets. But at any rate, Len managed, there are about a total of 17 factors in there that seemed to be important. Len took all 17 of them and then divided them into groups into 4 different columns. You can see the printout here. This is from Breeders' Cup Day, SEAL team, but he divided up everything into four similarities where the factors were similar. He managed to put them in one and create equations for those. Again, we found the results are really steady. A single qualifier win rate. A single qualifier means a horse that is the only qualifier in the race as far as totals in the total column. And horses like this are very potent. When they're the favorite, they're even more potent at about a 42% win rate. But he put everything together in these columns. And when you see, there's other nice, again, this is all explained in the user's manual. Kind of excited about this because it really is a neat little methodology. 12 is the maximum score a horse can get in these columns. And when a horse has every single column is a 12, which is the max it can get, plus it's the only qualifier, that's a very potent angle. You also get some really nice prices in here. Here's a 30-to-1 shot, and it turned out to be the longest shot on the board at 19-to-1, ran second. A lot of big prices will run second and third, and we do have recommended wagering strategies for those. But basically, here's basically, and again, when you go to the website, you can read this, but what's in the different columns, the different raw speed, comp perf, earn power, and TJ superiority, and it lists all the basic angles of the 17 main factor, what Len did combined to produce the scores in these particular columns. And as he says he tried a bunch of experimenting with them, but he found that while there are several critical factors in the methodology, I was able to group several into each of 4 categories. I did a lot of experimenting to determine which combos work best, and I'm satisfied that results and am confident the software user will be too. So the methodology overall is very steady, very high in the money percentage. There's specific plays that we list in the manual that do better than others, and again, those are all listed there. Also, the nice thing in the manual, we give you every, and again, these are all fairly simple, but these are the gain and routes, the weight, the trainer jockey. We list every methodology, these 5, which seem to be the most important, and we actually give you the exact specifications for those. They're all very simple. And again, if you're just, if you're looking at the computer, looking at the picks, yes, these are already figured into the computer. But if you're just looking for something to do, or you can apply a couple of these, at least 3 of these, you can apply as shortcuts, and you'll be amazed at how often you will have the major contenders just by looking at a few factors. It'll take you literally less than a minute to find that. And also, it's a good exacta program. 4-horse boxes are the best. They hit it about 39%, but they also have 3-horse boxes. And again, we list where they're viable. So basically, and again, we finish up by saying how it's really funny how people think to be valid, something has to be brand new. Well, there really isn't anything brand new in this game. And like we mentioned, guys like Talbot, House, Holloway, and even E.W. Donaldson, he actually invented the sheets that came out, the Ragozin sheets that came out in the 70s. They're an exact duplicate of what Donaldson did in 1936. So, I mean, and Colonel Bradley, in his the speed theory, is so much like Andy Byer's work. It's just amazing. It's almost a duplicate of what he was doing it years and years ago. So this is good, valid information. And the price is very reasonable. We have a $128 price tag on it for future, when we publish it future, more public. But for right now, it's just $97.50. So give us a call, 1-800-696-0067, or order from our website. We wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. Thank you so much. Talk to you next time.